Welcome back to another episode of Daily Interior Design Inspo. I am your host, Betsy Helmuth, and today we have an exciting lineup of topics that will help you make your home stylish without breaking the bank. Whether you are in NYC, Westchester, New Jersey, Connecticut, or Washington, D.C., we have got you covered. Let us dive right into today's first segment, which is all about the most common types of wood used in flooring, furniture, and decor. When undergoing a renovation, the process seems easy from the start. Choose a few common materials, install them, and voila. It is not until you actually undergo the project that it hits you. Wow, there sure are a lot of options to choose from. And wood is one of those familiar materials that surprisingly comes with a ton of grains and finishes to sift through. Without proper research, you risk choosing a wood that is difficult to work with, expensive, or prone to weakness, which could lead to potential failure or added costs, says Luther Fors, merchant at the Home Depot. You want to choose a material that is easy to work with, durable, and visually appealing. This can save you money and result in a lasting, attractive project. But where do you start? It can be overwhelming to choose the right wood when there are so many options on the market, which is why I have created a cheat sheet that describes the types of wood that are best for a range of well-known projects. Read on to save yourself from second-guessing in the future. Let us start with the best wood for floors. When shopping for wood that will be installed as flooring, you will want to pay attention to two factors: what level of durability you need and what look you are hoping to achieve. Hardwoods like oak, hickory, and mahogany are excellent choices for their resilience against scratches and dents, as well as their ability to age gracefully, Fors says. These woods also accept stains and finishes well, offering versatile aesthetic options too. One important tip to keep in mind: always get more wood flooring than you will think you need, and store any surplus for future repairs. Buying all the wood at once ensures that you will get the same coloring throughout, whereas a future batch may have a slightly different finish, which will look noticeable if they are installed side by side in the same space. Grain is a tree's unique growth pattern, meaning no two boards are identical, Fors adds. The grain can be straight, wavy, curly, or irregular, depending on the tree type and how it is cut. When working on projects, paying attention to the grain is crucial for achieving the desired appearance. Next up, the best wood for furniture. If you are using wood to build your own furniture, then the needs are slightly different. Fors has 3 different recommendations based on the type of project you may have in mind. Pine wood. Pine wood is a versatile and readily available softwood that is perfect for furniture projects, he says. Its ease of cutting and shaping makes it ideal for do-it-yourself work, and its natural grain can be left rustic or customized with stain or paint. Medium density fiber wood, MDW. MDW, a resin-bonded blend of hardwood and softwood, is ideal for hidden cabinet parts and shelving, he says. It is smooth, stable, warp-resistant, and easy to paint, making it durable and cost-effective for less visible areas. Poplar. Poplar is a cost-effective hardwood ideal for furniture projects, Fors explains. Its fine, even texture takes paint and stain well, allowing it to resemble more expensive woods. It is also ideal for high-traffic areas. And finally, the best wood for decor. If your project is more about small-scale decor, Fors says the type of wood still matters, according to how your finished product will be used. Keep in mind, too, that you will likely want to enhance the wood with a stain or paint later, and that could influence which wood you pick. Here is what Fors advises. Plywood. Made from thin sheets of wood and cured under heat and pressure, plywood is ideal for do-it-yourself crafts, shelving, and subfloors, he says. It can be used untreated, painted, or stained, and is available in hardwood and softwood veneers. Hardwood. Hardwood options such as hickory, oak, mahogany, maple, and walnut are ideal for projects like cabinetry, flooring, and woodworking due to their durability and elegant appearance, Forbes notes. Softwood. Softwoods like pine and cedar are ideal for home construction, he says. Pine is versatile for indoor use, while cedar, with its natural rot resistance, is perfect for outdoor projects like decking and fencing. Now, let us talk about the difference between hardwood and softwood. There is a common misconception that all hardwoods are hard and all softwoods are soft. While that is generally true, there is a lot of variety in the hardness of both hardwoods and softwoods. The main difference between them is actually the group of trees from which they originate, deciduous or coniferous. Hardwood is identified by trees that are deciduous. They lose their leaves annually and most produce fruits or nuts. Trees such as maple, cherry, and oak are hardwoods, says Char Miller King, an Atlanta-based woodworker known by her Instagram handle, A Wooden Maven. Softwood trees are known as evergreen or coniferous and have cones. These are trees such as pine and fir trees. The differentiation between the groups goes far beyond their leaves and reproduction methods, too. Hardwoods are deciduous trees that grow more slowly and therefore have tighter rings. They are, for the most part, harder, but not always, says woodworker and welder Kelly DeWitt of Austin-based KKDW Construction. Softwoods grow relatively quickly, and that quick growth is what creates a generally softer wood. The relative hardness and softness of various woods is not just based on a feeling. Woods are ranked for durability using something called the Janka Hardness Scale. The Janka Hardness Scale identifies at what point a 11.8 millimeter, 0.444-inch steel ball will embed itself halfway through a board proposed for flooring, says Miller King. If you are looking for durability, you will want something with a Janka rating of at least 900, but ideally 1200 for heavy wear uses like high-traffic floors. Hardwoods are better suited for areas that are more susceptible to wear and tear, such as cabinets, flooring, and countertops, adds Sean Walsh, Chief Executive Officer of California-based Wallcraft Cabinetry. Softwoods often find their place in the home as picture frames, crafts, shelves, moldings, balusters, and even handrails. It is also common that furniture is crafted with softer woods, such as pine, poplar, or fir. Finally, why do woods have different natural colors and grains? While woods are often painted or stained, they inherently have their own colors. Woods from different regions around the world each have very unique colors and grains, all of which are only species-specific, says Walsh. They are not affected by where they are growing, only what they are in species. Most woods fit in brown and red families, but there are also black, green, orange, and purple woods, most of which are only revealed beneath a tree's bark. Purple Heart is the only truly purple wood, Walsh adds. Jatoba, also known as Brazilian cherry, has a deep reddish-brown base with streaks of black running through it and a very straight grain. American cherry has a more wavy grain and is an orangish-red color that turns darker with age and exposure to sunlight. Grain is evaluated separately from color. It refers to two main characteristics of the wood, the striping and the texture. What you see when you are looking at wood grain is the orientation of the wood fiber cells. Trees can have open grain or closed grain, which is all based on the pore size of the cells, the rate at which the tree grows, and when it was cut, says Miller King. There are many ways to cut a tree, plain sawn, quarter sawn, and flat sawn, to name a few. This influences the grain pattern that is revealed. Have you ever wondered what interior designers really think about your home? You cannot tell me I am the only one who has ever worried about this. As it turns out, They definitely have thoughts, but they are not as judgmental as you might expect. Seriously, all most designers want is for you to have a beautiful, functional home that matches your needs and taste. How that is accomplished looks different for everyone, but there are still some rules and recipes they aim to incorporate into every space. To get to the bottom of their favorite and least favorite things about designing clients' kitchens, I talked to 3 designers about what they wish they would do more and less of. Here is what they said. The first thing designers wish clients would do more of in their kitchens is budget for quality, elevated appliances. Your kitchen gets daily use, and Sarah Anderson, founder of Chancery Designs in Washington, D.C., recommends you do not settle for what she calls rental unit appliances. Do your research, and if you can, opt for the better warranties and more advanced features. Rachel Moriarty, principal designer at RM Interiors in San Diego, California, encourages you to step away from stainless steel. It has dominated kitchens since the 1980s. They can definitely be sleek and modern, but there are so many options now, she explains. Opt for matte black, white with brass, or colorful finishes for an elevated, more custom look. Another option, Cheyenne Ely, owner and principal designer at Cheyenne Page Interiors in the Woodlands, Texas, likes to use is panel-ready appliances. This is because panels on your fridge and dishwasher allow you to better soak in the beauty of your kitchen without distractions, she says. Next, incorporate natural elements. It is easy for a kitchen to look one-note or dated, but adding just a single natural element can make it timeless. A marble backsplash, stained cabinetry, or reclaimed beams extends the lifespan of your kitchen, Ely says. After all, is not the great outdoors the only thing that has never gone out of style? Prioritize functionality. Good design is so much more than just aesthetics, Eli emphasizes. You have to carefully tailor your kitchen design to suit your lifestyle preferences and needs. This might not be as fun as selecting backsplash tile or paint colors, but the time you invest will pay you back in spades. Anderson adds, your kitchen is a really large investment in your home, and it is not like you can easily shuffle your cabinets or appliances around. Hire a designer first. It sounds biased, coming from the experts themselves, but there are countless pros to scheduling even one consultation with an interior designer. They can change the trajectory of your project by offering solutions to problems you did not even know you had, or suggesting colors and materials that complement your existing spaces, explains Ely. Anderson agrees, saying that a contractor is more focused on getting the work done. They are looking for you to figure out exactly what you want to do, and you might not actually know, she elaborates. If you hire a designer to come up with the plans, you will get accurate pricing and minimize surprises. It is also worth noting that designers usually have vendors they partner with that offer quality, fairly priced goods and services. All in all, a designer can help you prevent expensive mistakes. Choose what you love. Nowadays, the design options are limitless. There are a vast array of countertop materials and colors available, from luxurious quartz to porcelain slabs that look like onyx to recycled glass vitrazzo, Moriarty says. You have just as much to choose from for your backsplash. Explore formats like hexagons, herringbone patterns, or even dimensional shapes. Pattern tiles, terrazzo tiles, or zelige tiles can add a unique touch. As a maximalist, Moriarty always urges her clients to embrace texture, pattern, and color to create a statement kitchen that reflects their personal taste. Now, let us talk about the things that designers wish clients would do less of in their kitchens. The first mistake is picking all white. While you may think all white is the key to a kitchen that looks and feels clean, Anderson insists the opposite is true. As we all know, anything white just attracts dirt. A white kitchen never stays clean. Plus, Moriarty calls an abundance of white both sterile and impersonal. She recommends mixing it up a little bit with warm wood tones, pops of color on the wall or cabinets, or dramatic countertop surfaces. Second, do not worry about resale value. If your intention is to flip your home within the next few years, that is one thing. If not, remember that you are the one who lives there right now. If you do a purple kitchen because you really love purple, you are still going to love it in 20 years, Anderson explains. Even if you might be selling 5 to 10 years down the line, the trends will have already changed, and the buyers will want to change it anyway. Next, avoid putting the microwave above the stove. This is another example of what Anderson calls a rental unit type of situation. If you have the choice, do not put a microwave over your stove and give it a proper vent instead. The microwave is never high enough. So when you are at the stove, your face is basically in the microwave, she explains. But you cannot put the microwave too high because then you will not be able to reach it to use it. So it is just not the ideal position. Alternatively, you can install one in your island or tuck it away in an appliance garage. Also, do not feel obligated to add an island. In some cases, islands are a functional game changer. Other times, the kitchen is so large that it does not make sense to not include one. Either way, they still are not technically necessary according to the experts. Instead, you could add a dining table, leave floor space, create a galley kitchen, or build a peninsula, Anderson suggests. Long story short, there are actually more options than you think. Finally, rethink the standard depth refrigerator. With a name like standard depth, it seems like the size would be a no-brainer. Not so. Ely recommends counter-depth refrigerators instead, which are flush to the counter and do not jut out as far as standard depth, making them incredibly space-saving. You do not lose as much storage as you would think, but if the thought makes you nervous, she recommends you consider relocating your standard depth refrigerator to the garage. Side tables have come a long way. You can find ones with built-in charging ports, magazine caddies, or even entire floor lamps. Innovations like these are a small space dweller's dream. The more two-in-one furnishings you can include, the better. Sometimes, though, you just want a simple storage solution that gives you a bit of extra shelf space while also looking good in your space. If you head to TJ Maxx, you'll find plenty of examples. And we're not just talking home organizers. The retailer has a surprisingly large selection of furniture pieces, many of which look like something you could find at a high-end store like CB2 or Restoration Hardware. Case in point, the Jofrin solid marble C table. It might look luxurious, but this side piece retails for only $130. The only small issue with TJ Maxx is that its inventory usually doesn't stay in stock for very long, so if you want it, you don't have too long to grab it. What is the Jofrin solid marble C table? Clearly, this marble find isn't just any side table. For one, it has a C shape, which means you can pull it over your lap if you're sitting on the couch or even in bed. A sturdy base keeps it stationary even if you set your meal, laptop, or other items on the 14-inch by 10-inch surface. The silhouette is quite clean, but small details almost make the table look like a timeless antique, such as the beveled edges. At 22 inches tall, it's able to extend over most standard height sofas. Of course, you can also tuck the compact table into a corner next to your favorite reading chair and use it as a standalone piece. The styling options are endless, which is much of what makes this find so fitting for a wide variety of home aesthetics. Why will you love the Jofrin solid marble C table? As we just noted, the marble C table is great for small spaces. Whether you want an eye-catching accent piece that won't take up too much square footage or a little extra storage space, it'll get the job done and look great doing it. It goes without saying that the Joffrin model is much more beautiful than your average side table. In fact, we'd bet that anyone who visits your home will feel compelled to compliment it. The unique brown marble is undeniably striking. Plus, it's sturdy and timeless, so it'll hold up much better over time than the fiberboard Amazon table you might have been eyeing. Finally, $130 for a find. This good is an unbeatable deal. And you don't even have to go to your local TJ Maxx to get it. Snag the table on the retailer's site while it's still available and enjoy the look of an effortlessly more elevated living space. Paint is one of the quickest and easiest ways to transform a room. Short of a down-to-the-studs renovation, which, let's be honest, will cost you a lot more money and frustration, no design swap out there gives you more oomph for your effort. Whether you're topping off the trim, painting a door, or coating the entire wall, one thing is for sure. You'll be left with a room that feels brand new once you're finished. And even if you've just repainted the walls throughout your home, there's somewhere you may have forgotten: the ceilings. Designers often refer to the ceiling as the fifth wall because it holds just as much potential to transform a space as the other four walls, says designer Becky Shea. The ceiling shouldn't be an afterthought. It's an integral part of the room's design. When the ceiling is treated with the same care as the walls, it can elevate the entire design and add depth that's often untapped. We've rounded up 6 designer-approved colors for painting your ceiling, plus some hard and fast rules to consider before cracking open that can of paint. From a pale blue reminiscent of a spring sky to a deep forest green that adds instant drama, these hues are sure to have everyone in your home looking up. While ceiling paint is a great way to have fun with design, it's not a move that suits every decor style or every room. It's not ideal to paint the ceiling a different color than the walls in a room that has very low ceilings, says Jean Barber of Camden Grace Interiors. Typically, this will make the ceiling feel lower than it already is, even if you were to paint the ceiling white and the walls a darker color. Instead, Barber suggests picking a single color for both the walls and ceiling, even if your chosen hue is very dark. A dark color choice would lean into the coziness of the space small, while a lighter color would give the illusion of a slightly higher ceiling, she adds. Beyond that, Shea encourages homeowners to continue to push their design scheme, even after making a bold choice like a painted ceiling. It's all about how you thoughtfully compose the room and layer the surrounding elements to make the painted ceiling feel intentional and harmonious, she adds. I often like to balance a painted ceiling with luxurious textures. Think mohair, boucle, wool, and cashmere that bring warmth and tactile interest to the room. Even in a more monochromatic palette, it's essential to introduce contrast in your textures or accents to help the space feel dynamic and balanced. You want to create a feeling that draws people in, regardless of ceiling height or room layout. Let us dive into the designer-approved ceiling paint colors. First up, Borrowed Light number 235 by Farrow and Ball. If you'd like to stay in more neutral territory, this Barely There blue, inspired by summer skies, is a great choice. This soft hue is a favorite ceiling paint of mine to use in bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms, says Barber. It's the perfect calming shade of pale blue that brings lightness and airiness to any room. Next, Black Forest Green HC 187 by Benjamin Moore. If you're ready for a bit more drama, Shea recommends this deep green shade. For this home office, our client envisioned a space that felt rich in tone, evoking the ambiance of a vintage library, explains Shea. We ultimately chose Benjamin Moore's Black Forest Green because of its depth and complexity. It's a color that feels layered and sophisticated with a timeless quality. What I love about this particular shade is that it can stand on its own without the need for dramatic contrasts or accents. It creates a sense of richness and elegance all by itself. Another great option is drop cloth number 283 by Farrow and Ball. If you want to keep your walls minimalistic, you can still play around with a slight difference in the ceiling color while staying within the same neutral color family. When you have tall ceilings, it can be fun to paint the ceiling a couple shades darker than the walls, says Barber. This is an easy way to make the space feel more intimate. A favorite combo for this kind of treatment would be drop cloth number 283 by Farrow and Ball on the ceiling with shaded white number 201 by Farrow and Ball on the walls. Iron Mountain 2134-30 by Benjamin Moore is another bold choice. Painting your ceilings black may sound a bit scary, but this soft black shade has a warm, inviting feel to it. Iron Mountain by Benjamin Moore is a color I never tire of, says Shay. I use it often because it works beautifully in so many different spaces, especially on millwork, where it really shines. The depth and texture of Iron Mountain create a perfect balance between modernism and natural elements, which is a hallmark of organic modernism. It's that mix of sophistication and grounded, earthy warmth that makes the space feel both bold and timeless. Do not be afraid to go pink with Pink Drab No, 208 by Farrow and Ball. We love a pink ceiling, says Barber. You can have a lot of fun with color in unexpected places, like a powder room. Pink Drab No, 208 by Farrow and Ball is a soft, dynamic pink tint that reads completely different depending on the room and time of day. Finally, Graphite 1603 by Benjamin Moore is a deep gray hue that has a moody, timeless appeal, pairing especially well with antiques and vintage touches. Shay likes this color for its dramatic yet classic vibe.